This changes everything for the Boston Red Sox. Because of their play over the last few months, they have positioned themselves in a pretty favorable spot going forward. I'm here to break down the remaining schedule as there's just 40 regular season games remaining and how the Red Sox hard work and well-timed wins have put them in a very favorable spot that could result in them making a big push come October. We'll break down all of that on this episode of Red Sox Digest. But first, please do remember, if you're a part of the percentage watching this video, not currently subscribed to the channel, scroll down, click the subscribe button, stay up to date with everything Red Sox. We do appreciate the love and support, so thank you guys. But now let's get to it and break down, really, the expectations for the Boston Red Sox going forward with the last 40 games of the MLB regular season ahead of them. It is crazy to think that there is only 40 games remaining in this regular season for the Red Sox because it feels like the season just started. But if you go back and you think of all the big moments throughout the entirety of the season, it has been a long MLB season. At least it seems that like it must have been, at least on a player's perspective. But now there are 40 games remaining, and the Red Sox have done a damn good job of remaining competitive, not only in the AL East specifically, as they rank 2 just behind the Blue Jays, as they are 5 games behind them, as they are a game and a half ahead of the New York Yankees, but as well as the AL race in the playoff race itself, sitting in the 5th seed, again ahead of the New York Yankees, just behind the Seattle Mariners and the Houston Astros. Now, what can we expect going forward from the Red Sox? Well, if you guys don't remember, just a few weeks ago, just approaching the MLB halfway point and the All-Star break, there was a lot of conversations about how the Red Sox have a very difficult upcoming schedule. And coming out of the All-Star break, they have the hardest schedule going forward. Well, they got through all the hard patches. They played the Astros 3 times. They played the Cubs. They played the Phillies. They played a lot of quality teams. But going forward, this is what their schedule breaks down to. Shout out to Gordo on Twitter, Boston Sports Gordo specifically, as he went on to post this, and it's a very, very aesthetically pleasing or visually pleasing way to break down the schedule. The Pirates 3 times. The Orioles 6 times. Tampa Bay 3 times. Diamondbacks, Marlins 3 times, and then finally I almost said Oakland Athletics. The Athletics 6 times. And then finally, the teams above 500, the Guardians 3 times, the Blue Jays, the Tigers 3 times, and then finally, the New York Yankees 7 times. It's going to be a very exciting last 40 games. It's without a doubt. Once you get to September, every single pitch is going to feel like it matters if the team you're watching or rooting for is in contention and hoping to make the playoffs and possibly a fall classic. So the Red Sox, it starts with the Marlins. And yes, this is a favorable piece of the schedule, and it's good to see that the Red Sox were able to get through that difficult task out of the All-Star break by remaining competitive and ultra competitive at that, as again, they're only behind the Blue Jays in the AL East, who have been scorching hot, especially post-deadline as they continue to win. They can't lose at home. They've been a damn good ball team. Unfortunately, they are a rival in this sense, but they have played really good baseball up to this point, being led by obvious names in Vlad Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette. Alejandro Kirk was one of the best average hitters in the sense of what in the average he was hitting for. I'm not trying to downplay his overall abilities. The average he was hitting for, he was hitting like 315, 320 like 5 months into the year. He was playing really, really well, and he continues to play well, and so do the Blue Jays. But again, the Red Sox have the 24th toughest schedule remaining with the last 40 games ahead of them, and it starts with the Marlins. Tonight in Fenway will be game 1 of 3 against these Miami Marlins, who shouldn't be as good as they are. There's like, I don't know how else to say it. They should not be as good as they are. The names they have are very young. They are very inexperienced, but they are a bunch of mercenaries. It's the mercenary Marlins. That is what I've called them all year long, as they have nothing to play for outside of the fact that these kids are trying to earn the job next year, which again could be all that they're playing for, which could mean that could be everything in this sense, in which it is, and it's showing up. As over the last 30 days offensively, they have been smashing the baseball, ranking top 10 in every major offensive category, and for the season, they're not too shabby outside of that. Third in average, top 15 in OBP, slugging, WRC plus, and then again, top 3 in base on balls in play. The Marlins have simply been getting it done, and it won't be an easy task for the Red Sox. Just because they are under 500 at this point in the year does not mean they are not a competitive and outright aggressive team to play against. It'll be a good challenge to start off the last 40-game stretch. I think the Red Sox can end up sweeping this series if they play the right brand of baseball. We have seen them do it time and time again. Being at home is going to be a huge helping hand. I think the Red Sox can come out there and really give Lucas Giolito some run support, which could end up really helping out not only Giolito specifically, but this team in the morale sense and the overall energy going forward into these following games, not only against the Marlins, but in the series following that. As we know, against the Blue Jays, against the Yankees, those are teams that you cannot lose to. And even the Tigers at this point in the year, being in the AL as well, these teams are going to be massive, massive checkpoints for this Boston Red Sox organization, not only offensively, but as well as on the pitching side of things and defensively. When it comes down to these series at this point in the year, it's going to feel like playoff baseball because we know what's going to be, or we have an idea of what's going to happen in the following month and a half, 2 months, once October does arrive and the playoff is fully shaped out. So you can't take these games off. These are going to mean more than anything because they're going to be remembered first because they were the last games to happen between these two teams, or in that sense, these two teams, between the Yankees, the Jays, and the Tigers. You can't slip up. The Guardians are no slouch either, and obviously in the playoff seeding, they are just outside of the Yankees, a half game back, so they could honestly sneak in, and that could be a first-round matchup for the Boston Red Sox. I can't wait to see how it all plays out. Now, the thing I will mention, Lucas Giolito is on the mound tonight. We had conversations about Dustin May and whether or not, Dustin May played phenomenal in his last start. He did not in his first. Walker Buehler in his last start was not great. They wanted to leave him in. They wanted to get him through 6 innings because he was so close, and walks absolutely killed. And then obviously when you walk guys in big situations, big players make big swings, and Yanir Diaz did absolutely that. Buehler let guys on via walk. Yanir came up and absolutely ripped one over the left center wall, or over the left center monster, I should say. And that leaves me to ask this question once again. Now, it's not going to be as in-depth. I'm just going to throw out the names, and you guys can let me know which name you would rather see called up, if any, and for who, whether it is Lucas Giolito, whether it is Walker Buehler. Would you like to see Peyton Tolley? Would you like to see Kyle Harrison? Or would you like to see David Sandlin get called up for this Red Sox organization? I understand they are not all necessarily starters. Tolley has reps at starter. He also has reps as a relief guy. Kyle Harrison has been dominantly a starter in his young career up to this point, whether it's down in the minor leagues for the Red Sox organization or back when he was with San Francisco with his 2 11 strikeout games and the other top performances he did have in that San Francisco orange jersey. It'll be interesting. David Sandlin, more of a relief guy himself. Another quality pitcher the Red Sox could fall to come October if they do not want to put the ball in Walker Buehler or Lucas Giolito's hands. I feel like they are really, both those guys are playing for something every time they touch the mound nowadays because of the opportunity and options the Red Sox do have with the young names they do have down in AAA as well as in the farm system in general. Let me know down below. If anyone were to be called up, Peyton Tolley, David Sandlin, whether it's Kyle Harrison, whatever it be, would you like to see them called up? Specifically who, and which one would you like to be sent down? I know Giolito does have to pitch tonight. It's August 15th. You guys should see this video just before that game starts, if not just after. We'll know how Lucas Giolito pitches, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Red Sox Digest.